morning and welcome back to Planet Doug on Penang. On Penang on another very hot day. That sun is beating down. It's like 9:30 in the morning and it feels like mid-afternoon heat. It's going to be a scorcher today. Anyway, I'm out on the street. This is where my Airbnb is located, and I'm on my way, unusually, to catch a bus. And even more unusually, this bus is going to whisk me away to a fancy, air-conditioned, modern, gigantic shopping mall. And I'm doing that because I feel like I did Penang a bit of a disservice the other day. I went for a walk around Penang, trying to find some camera stores, as I always do. And I ended up at the Comtar Tower, and there's a shopping mall inside there. And then I went next door to the Prong Inn Mall. I just happened to stumble across those two shopping malls. And when I left from that area, I commented that, you know, Penang is probably not a destination of choice if you wanted to do shopping on your holiday. You know, it's an amazing place. It's an interesting place. There's tons of stuff to see and do. But if you wanted to go shopping, perhaps Penang is not the place for you. But I've since been told that I just went to all the wrong shopping malls. And there is a selection of modern, very nice, very large shopping malls here. And one of them is called Gurney Plaza. And that's where I'm going right now. Oh, look at this. Oh, what's this guy doing? Discovery. I've been looking everywhere for one of these. I knew they had to be around somewhere. A drinking water machine. Pop in some coins and you get drinkable, purified water. I've lost track of the number of kilometers I've walked on Penang, or here in Georgetown. And I've been keeping my eyes open for one of these, and I finally found one. Yeah, the poor doors on these things tend to get a bit smashed and broken up, but that one appears to be functioning. All right, now I know where to get my water. I did a bit of research before I left for my Airbnb, and I discovered that there are buses, of course, that go to Gurney Plaza, and if my information is correct, I can get one of these buses right here at a place called Tim Point, or TM Point. That's what the bus stop is called. And I can get 101 or a variety of different buses. I can get them from here that will take me to Gurney Plaza. And I'm taking the bus partially because, you know, I went for a walk the other day. You may or may not have seen some of that video. I may or may not even have posted it. I'm not sure yet. There was a bit of a struggle, that video, and things didn't work out quite how I had planned. Maybe I'll talk about that in a minute. But what I did was I went down to Beach Street, and my idea was to walk along Beach Street, which is one of the oldest streets in Malaysia, you know, 236 years old, something like that. And I filmed while walking from one end of the street to the other. And then I walked all the way back to the beginning again, and I walked the full length a second time using a different camera. And what I should have done, and what a normal person would have done, is gotten to Beach Street with a taxi or something. But I walked there, and it turned out to be a 3-kilometer walk just to get from my Airbnb to Beach Street. So I walked 3 kilometers in this sun before I even started the walk that I had planned for the day, and then it was another 2+ kilometers to get back from there to my Airbnb. So by the time the day was over, I had gone for a bit of a hike because even as I walked along Beach Street, I was doing all these detours, going into alleyways, going into art galleries, checking this area out, and going up and down stairs. And yeah, I got my exercise. So today, heading straight for a bus. We'll see what happens. And here comes one. I've been babbling, so I haven't checked my notes. Let's see if I can, if this bus is mine. No, that wasn't my bus. It turned before it got here. I'm looking for 101, 103, or 304. 101 or 103 are probably my best options. My bus has arrived, 101. Gurney Plaza? 140. 140? Just put it 2. I'm on board and on my way. As always happens, it turned into a bit of a frantic moment as I boarded the bus, because I'm doing so many things at the same time. I had to figure out which bus to take, so I'm looking at my phone, and I can't really make out the bus number until it's like right on top of me, and I was talking into the camera, so I was not really on the ball yet. And then I forgot that, oh, I have to have money ready, to get on the bus, and I'm scrambling to get out my wallet, and I don't want to do all these things while I'm standing at the front of the bus and, delaying everyone. So I got all that done. But then I forgot that there's no change on these buses. So I told the driver I was going to Gurney Plaza, and he said it was a 1.4 ringgit, 1 ringgit 40 sen, and I had 2 ringgit notes. And then, yeah, you just put them in the box, and you get he prints out an individual ticket for every passenger, but you're not getting 60 cent back. The fare was 1.4 ringgit. I paid 2, and that's what I paid because there is no change. I meant to look up the name Gurney because I don't know where it came from. It's Gurney Plaza, and then there's another shopping mall connected to it, also called Gurney something. I forget what it was called. And they take that name from the road because the road that follows the coast, the main thoroughfare following the coast, is called Gurney, the Gurney Road or something like that. And I was out in this direction on the Brompton when I first got here. So I've seen quite a bit of this area already, but I'm now going through it by bus. But I don't know what the Gurney means. Probably refers to a historical figure, but I'm not sure who. But one place we're going to be passing is quite interesting, and I actually stopped there on my bicycle ride without realizing its significance. I rode the bike around to the front of this hotel. It has a beautiful view out over the water, and I could sense when I was standing there that this was a special place. It was sort of a vintage hotel, a classic from decades ago, a very historic hotel, but also a 5-star accommodation. And I think it was called the Eastern and Oriental is the full name. And I was doing a bit of reading about the Eastern and Oriental, and it turns out that some famous people have stayed there, including one of many people's favorite authors, Somerset Maugham, because Somerset Maugham turned into a bit of a traveler later in his life, and he spent time in what was then called Malaya, and he stayed at the Eastern and Oriental, as famous writers tend to do. They stay in the classic 5-star kind of vintage hotels like that, with a beautiful view and all the classic architecture. And so Somerset Maugham spent some time here on Penang. I was trying to find out how long he was on Penang Island itself, but I wasn't able to track down that information. But he wrote some travel books in his lifetime, and he wrote a lot of short stories based on life in Malaya at that time. It turns out that we've more or less already passed the Eastern and Oriental Hotel. It was way back there somewhere. That's the other thing about being on a bus, I find. You do tend to get thrown from side to side quite a bit. I'm sitting down, but you still kind of get off balance, and if you're holding a camera, you can't really organize yourself as well as you'd like in terms of getting out your phone and checking Google Maps and looking at your location. Things tend to get a bit nutty. And we're practically at Gurney Plaza already, so it's not that far up ahead. The other thing too is I got so preoccupied with getting organized for getting on the bus and figuring out which bus to take and getting the money ready, I completely forgot to put on a mask before I got on the bus. I think you're still required to wear a mask in public transportation in Malaysia, but even if you're not, I think people here expect you to, because I got on the bus and then I sat down and I turned to the man sitting beside me and gave him a nod and a smile. Then I looked at him, and then I looked all around, and I realized that everyone was wearing a mask, and I wasn't. So I quickly had to get out a mask and put one on. And something else I just forgot to do. Modern life, there's a lot of details involved in living a modern life. Getting closer. I've got my phone out now, so I can track my progress. And the other mall is called the Gurney Paragon Mall. And I'm going to its sister mall, the Gurney Plaza. And should be the very next stop, so gotta get ready. I was just saying to myself, I don't know if this is the right stop or not, but looking right across the road, Plaza Gurney, it says right over there. So a bit of a hectic journey for me, but it's nice not to have walked 4 kilometers in this hot sun for a change. Ooh, look at that, a crosswalk. So we have to do that as well. I was wondering how I was going to get across this road. And I don't have a particular mission for this mall trip, other than, as I said, making amends to Penang and Penangites? Penangites? What do you call a person from Penang? As I was dissing the island, saying that they didn't have good shopping malls. So here I am at one of their best to show this side of Penang life. But of course, if I find, there's actually a huge electronics mart in here, like an IT mart, Thunder Match, I think it's called. So I will be going to Thunder Match. Almost first thing, that'll be my first stop, see if they have any GoPro accessories. Golden Screen Cinemas I see up there. Yeah. Normally shopping malls are not my kind of place because I'm more technical. And shopping malls tend to be more about fashion and jewelry and household goods, things like that. And I don't have much use for any of that. So I'm always looking for specialty stores. And shopping malls tend not to have any kind of specialty store for camera gear or electronics or camping equipment or cycling gear. You know, I'm not going to list off all the store names. You can see them for yourself, perhaps, but you know, you can see this is all high-end. Oh, I wouldn't call this high-end fashion. Adidas, Aldo, but I'm sure all the major brands are in here somewhere. But yes, this is definitely a modern, full-service shopping mall. So, sorry, Penang, if I insulted you when I visited Kamtar. I think this is what Kamtar wanted to be when it was built, but they somehow just didn't get that magic combination to come up with a design like this in a place like this. I'm actually surprised at the main entrance, though. I'm still dealing with sort of a low ceiling. Quite a few modern malls, you walk in now at the beginning and you get this like very high ceiling and expansive places. This one is a little bit more utilitarian. But here's an opening for the escalators. And there does seem to be some sort of a courtyard back here. Oh, okay, this is what I was looking for. Yeah, this is the kind of area that serves as the centerpiece for most shopping malls. Kind of I assume it's a dome. Let's find out when we get here. There we go. Yeah, kind of dome way up there. And you can see all the levels. Okay. So there you go. Classic modern shopping mall architecture. Oh my God. I'm always amazed at I was going to say I'm amazed at the little things, but in this case I'm amazed at the big things because I haven't lived a life for a long time that, you know, like in a real house or a real apartment with real stuff. So like these massive 86-inch TV screens to me are just mind-blowing. Can't imagine having something like this in your house. And they're so commonplace now. Feels like almost everybody has one of these, which is crazy. To me, they seem absolutely futuristic. Nearly all my time in Mesa, the majority of my time, I mean, I'm a big consumer of movies and television series. There's so much good television being produced around the world right now. And I watched a lot of it. I enjoy it. But for the majority of my time there, I was watching it on a smartphone. And I was perfectly happy with that. I just had a little screen. I was holding it up here next to my face. And that's how I watched movies. As long as the audio was good, and I would use earphones, you know, to get the highest quality audio. As long as the audio is clear, the picture, as long as I can see what's going on, you know, I was perfectly happy with that. So, yeah, that's me. The world has moved on to 86-inch wide flat screen theater mode for their homes. I'm still watching movies on a smartphone. Nice. Okay, look at this. Another open area near these doors. Same thing with watches too. You come into one of these malls and they always have these high-end watch stores. And even if you offered me, like as a gift, one of those watches, I would prefer to have this Casio, which in fact was a recent gift. I have met up with some people here that occasionally tune into one of my videos, and apparently they knew of my love for Casio digital watches, and I was given a gift of this Casio, and I really like it. It's basically the same as my regular Casio, it's a bit bigger, but the lettering on this one is much brighter. It's easier to see, so you just kind of look at it. Oh, you can see the time much quicker. The numbers are bigger and brighter, easier to read. So I'm very happy with this, and I don't need a Rolex or anything like that. Huh. Okay. Let's go back to the main dome. I want to go up the escalator in the main dome And quite often these technology stores, they are on an upper floor. They're very smart that way because they know that anyone that comes to a mall with technology on their mind, they're a dedicated shopper and they're going to find the store no matter where it is. So location is not as important to them. They know that people like me will climb up 6 floors to get to their store. So they don't have to pay the premium price to be down here on the main floor. Calvin Klein, on the other hand, they need to be on this floor so that people just walking by are reminded that Kevin Klein exists and that they really need to wear some Kevin Klein. Chanel, Dior, Yves Saint Laurent, and on and on. Let's start going up. This made me laugh. I saw right away they're doing some renovations here. They got these big scaffolding set up, and they have a sign there that says, "Relax, we are upgrading to serve you better." I like the wording. It's like they're anticipating that you're going to be annoyed with them. And they're like, relax. We're doing this to make it better. Just chill, and it will be done in a couple of weeks. All right. Relax. Chill out. I don't think they meant it that way. I'm just joking. I think they just, they're just saying, hey, relax and have a good time at the mall. And we're busy trying to make the mall a better place for you. But when I read it, I put a different inflection in my voice. Hey, buddy, relax. We're doing this to make it better. I'm scanning the upper floors to try and pick out where the technology begins. I see a premium, like an Apple reseller outlet. So maybe it's as early as the very next floor. I had plans to come out here in the afternoon after my walk along Beach Street, but I overdid it to such an extent on that trip that I was exhausted and there's no way I was going to be able to go back outside. So I just stayed indoors for the rest of the day. We're here. I can see TMT Megastore over there. TMT must stand for Thunder Match. What's the second T for? Thunder Match Technology? Wow. Hey. Samsung is in the house. Oh, Logitech store. I love those. Logitech makes some really nice things. When I was in Mesot, I had one of their portable Bluetooth keyboards, like one of these things down here. They're really nice. And again, I had one of those attached to my smartphone. And that became my computer as well as my TV screen. Maxis. Okay. Look at this place. So let's dive in. I guess this is the main store right here. Definitely my kind of place. Believe it or not, I was successful. I went into Thunder Match and there wasn't anything in there at all. So I was going to go off looking for any other stores. But then the clerk said, no, there is a GoPro store or something. He was pointing out here and he was pointing and pointing and pointing. And I was looking at all the stores going, no, not that one, not that one, not that one. And I could not for the life of me figure out where he was pointing. And then he brought me right to here. So they actually had a small display, you know, just a single display of GoPro accessories. And by a stroke of luck, they happened to have the very two things I was looking for. So I bought one of each. And is there anything on the other side? No. So this is the whole, the whole GoPro display right there. And there it is. I now, as if I didn't have enough camera gear, now I have even more. Anyway, I'm going to go find a place to sit down, have a drink, and I'm going to take a look at my two new products, get that out of the way, enjoy that, and then I'll probably come back up here and do some more looking around, some more shopping. I ended up not in a coffee shop. I came down to the main floor and was kind of scanning, looking for any kind of a good place to sit and have a coffee. And out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a McDonald's. So here I am. I already finished a breakfast of a chicken sandwich, fries, and a large Coke. Good nutrition for that every growing boy needs. And I've already opened one of the items that I bought, and I'll show it to you now. There it is. Comes with a bit of a story. This is a GoPro Enduro battery. And these new batteries are supposed to last longer than a regular GoPro battery, and they're supposed to work better in extreme temperatures. But I didn't really buy it for those reasons. I bought it mainly because I just needed new batteries. GoPro batteries have a habit of, especially in hot climates, of expanding, and they swell. And they swell so much that they won't even fit in the GoPro anymore. And even if you do jam them in, they'll swell up in there and you can't get them out again. It's a real problem with GoPros. So yeah, most of my batteries, I've had to throw them away. I'm running out of batteries again, so I had to buy a new one. And I thought I might as well try one of the new Enduros and see how that works out. The other object is much more exciting, and man, I really hesitated buying one of these because I have nothing if not grips, like grips and tripods and selfie sticks. I have a range of them, but the reason I have a range of them is that none of them are quite right. There's always something wrong with them, and I'm trying to combine them and adapt them, and I need a different one for different situations. So I end up with multiple ones. But GoPro came out with a new one. And in theory, on paper, it could fit into my style really, really well. That's it. This is the GoPro 3-Way 2.0. And now I already have a GoPro 3-Way, but I have the 1.0. I have the first generation. And right from the beginning, it did some things that I like, but it really didn't come together for me. It's just mainly because the tripod legs were too small. So there's these weird tripod legs that screw into the bottom. So to turn it into a tripod, you have to unscrew it, turn it around, screw it back in, spread out the legs. And they're like tiny little legs, and the whole thing just falls over really, really easily. Plus, the top of it is a regular GoPro fingers, where you have to use a thumb screw. 2.0, the tripod legs are built into the grip itself. They're bigger and wider, and the top has a quick release buckle and a tripod ball head. And assuming they designed it well, it could be nearly the perfect grip for me. The perfect selfie stick and grip. Anyway, I'm going to open it up and see whether this is going to work for me or not. I hope it is. They're not cheap. GoPro accessories do not come cheap. So exciting. All right. Come on. Yep. And there it is. It's got that fresh GoPro smell. Woo! It's got some weight to it. There's still cardboard attached, but I can tell it's solidly made, and you really want it to be solid. I don't mind that. The original three-way, good concept, but not a great execution, to be honest. So I'm hoping for much more from this one. So far, so good. First impressions are good. They have a little wrist strap on it. First thing, take off the wrist strap. I don't really have a use for that on my three-way, I don't think. It's just going to get in the way. So they call this a three-way because it does three things in theory. It's a simple hand grip, like that. You just hold it like this and your GoPro sits on the top. So it's a simple grip, but it's also a selfie stick. It's got a little twisting knob there, and then it opens up. Looks shorter than the original, maybe. I wanted it to be longer than this. But now it's basically a selfie stick, and it has kind of a unique design in that it is curved. So that's kind of handy because you can curve all these sections a little bit as much as you like. And then when you hold it like this, it raises the GoPro up in a curve, and then the base of the stick does not show up in the video, and your arm is not in the video. Somehow I was expecting these to be longer. It looks shorter than the original. So that's that's number two. It's got a hand grip, selfie stick, and the third part of the three-way is that it is also a tripod. And the way this one is designed, the grip itself turns into the tripod. All right. I just realized something. Made me very happy. I'll explain in a minute. Okay. Nice. I like that. I'm pleased, I think, because I just realized something. My first instinct was it's too short, but for me, the way I mount my GoPros, it might actually be just right. Find out in a minute. Oh, okay. First impressions, positive. Now the key is going to be the top part, because this is the quick release buckle on a tripod ball head. And this design is brand new. So for the rest of this, GoPro had time to look at their original design and improve on it. So this whole thing at the top, this is brand new. This is generation 1. So if they screwed this up, you have to wait until 3.0 in order for it to get to be better. Okay. I don't mind that. They often, tripod ball heads, they usually have a knob on the side, and you have to tighten and loosen the knob. This doesn't have that. It has a little clamp, and you pop it open, and then you can move it around, and then you click it shut again. Right out of the box, it seems okay. It seems to work. But over time, you'll have to find out whether this is robust enough. Is it going to stand up to regular use? And it has the quick release buckle. And now I'll explain why I'm so excited about this and how it might fit into my style. Because this is my normal GoPro rig, and I love this because of the jaws on the bottom. And with jaws like this, you know, I'm sitting here in McDonald's, and I want to mount my GoPro, I can just, clamp it to the table just like that. And I find that to be incredibly useful, and I use it all the time. And in fact, I find the clamp to be so useful, I use it in most situations. So that's the most important thing to me. So that's the base of my grip system, is to have this jaws at the bottom. And it's very, very versatile. And what I would normally do is I would take these mini tripod legs and I clamp the tripod legs in the jaws when I want to convert it to a tripod. But that didn't really work. It worked, but it was really tough because the legs were so small and this thing is kind of top heavy and it would fall over. It was a very fragile tripod. Plus, these jaws are so strong, the spring is so strong that over time, when you put a tripod in there, it breaks the tripod. It puts way too much pressure on it and it snaps the legs of the tripod right off. So, what I've always wanted, my dream, is to have everything combined into one. I wanted the jaws combined with a tripod, combined with a quick release, combined with a ball head. And that doesn't exist. So this would be perfect if there was a tripod somehow built into the base, but that does not exist. So now what I'm hoping is that by combining these two, I will have the best of both worlds, because this system is based on the GoPro quick release buckle, and now so is the three-way. So I've got a RAM mount here at the top. I've got it mounted on my jaws. Now I want to switch to walking around. In theory, that pops right off, pops on there. I'm ready to go. I'm walking around like this. Now I want to clamp it to a tree or something. I just take this off, put it on there. So I like that. I like that. It's a little bit of duplication now, though, because this has a ball head built into it, and now I'm mounting a heavy-duty ball head on top of another ball head, and that on principle, like design principle, that's not a good idea. But I think I might be able to adjust my system a little bit to make it a little bit lighter and smaller, but that's the basic idea that I'm working with right now. Just pop that off my jaws and then pop it onto the three-way. Yeah. First real-world test of the three-way 2.0, and on Planet Doug, the way I like to use my GoPro and the way I have it set up, first impressions are positive. Yeah, kind of like that. It feels like this is something I can work with. I like the grip, the balance feels right, the height feels right, the curvature on it, the controls. Few things concern me, but I won't know whether they work or not until some time has passed and I use it in a variety of situations. But overall, yeah, feels nice. Build construction feels okay. The real question is how easy it will be in the real world to switch from one grip to another, to go from this to my jaws when the situation arises. But yeah, I like this quite a bit. So I'm filming this with my GoPro Hero 9, of course. This isn't on the Insta360 anymore. There's the dome from the point of view of the GoPro Hero 9. And I'm heading up to the 3rd or 4th floor to go back to all the technology shops. No, I like this. I mean, I always liked the concept of the three-way because, as I said, it has a curvature built into it. which gives a very natural way of holding the grip and holding the camera raised up a little bit. A normal selfie stick goes in a straight line, and it just becomes, it's kind of awkward to work with. This curved stick works out, it's much more natural. But I had issues with the original three-way for all those reasons I talked about. The tripod legs were next to useless. And in fact, the other big problem with it was that the levers you use to tighten the different arms, the hinges, you could not tighten them enough. I don't care how strong you were, Superman, the Incredible Hulk, you could not tighten those levers enough to get the elbow joints to lock into place. They were just really poorly designed. From what I can tell, this is very much better design. I could tighten it down easily and it feels nice and solid. Yeah, it's not moving at all. Yeah, I like it a lot. The poor guy at the Thunder match who sold me this and that I was talking to, I think he was already sort of backing away from me in shock because I was so willing to talk to him about everything GoPro. I'm like telling him my entire life story, and he's probably thinking, dude, just buy it and go. You know, we don't have to become best friends. But I'm talking to him and talking to him. And now I'm going back to the same store because I want to show him how it works in real life, you know. Even as a customer, I overshare. Spent a bit more time back at TMT Thunder Match Technology, maybe? Yeah. I was talking to my original clerk, showing him how the three-way that he just sold me was working in real life and what I thought of it. And I went through an entire thesis about all the improvements of this three-way as opposed to the original one that I had, and my philosophy about mounting GoPros, and he nodded politely through the entire speech. But of course I gave him a card for my YouTube channel, so I have a new subscriber. So that's always good. But yeah, man, I only saw like 20 more things in that store that I easily could have bought, you know, and been happy with. But I escaped without buying anything else. And I was pretty sure when I was up here before, yes, I saw a DJI store, if you can believe that. So that's going to be my next stop. With an unlimited American Express Gold card, I'd probably be walking out of here with a drone, you know? But yeah, DJI. Look at this. I don't know if I've ever even seen a complete dedicated DJI store before. I probably have, but it would have been a long time ago. I haven't kept up with all the new models. I was just taking a closer look at this DJI Mini 3 Pro, and I knew they were light, but this is the first time I've seen one this close in a store. Yeah, and there's the whole package.
See my hand?
Yeah, compared to his hand, how small it is. But more than that, what struck me was how light the drone is. It's like there's nothing there at all. Like there's very little weight. And the battery is inside right now, or no battery?
See?
Oh, yeah, he's powered it up, so it has the battery. When I picked it up, I thought it was a fake. I didn't think it was real, but that's the real one. But then the controller is actually heavier than the drone. But as he showed me, it breaks down into a pretty compact shape like this. So yeah, put those two together. Yeah, you could travel with something like that pretty easily, I'm surprised. Huh. There you go. And then you've got some bigger FPV drone. Yeah, that's a whole different universe, FPV. That is crazy what they can do with those.
The max speed is 140
140.
kilometers per hour.
That is crazy.
And now it's linking. You can watch the live view inside.
Right. So I was just trying out. I didn't know they work this way, to be honest. But these FPV drones, you can fly them with a VR headset, and it's connected. It's connected right now, so I can actually look through the camera on the drone, and I can see myself in 3D. So this is how you would, yeah, that's how you would fly it. Huh. So let's take a close look at some prices here. Mini 3 Pro, that's the base. What is the Fly More kit?
It comes with extra 2 batteries.
Oh, 2 batteries.
It comes with a bag.
And a bag.
The chargers.
Chargers, okay.
The spare propellers.
So you probably want that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Just to get the basic one wouldn't be enough. So you probably have to get that. Fly More kit plus. What comes with the plus?
Extended battery life.
Extended battery life.
47 minutes, 1 batteries.
Oh, okay. So it's a different type of battery?
Yeah, it's more heavier. It's over than 249 already.
Oh, I see, I see.
280 grams.
Okay. DJI Mini 3 Pro. And that's with the, okay.
Smart controller.
Okay, so this is the RC model. With this one, you put your own phone in there and you watch the video on your phone.
Yes.
With this one, the RC model, is that what it's called? RC, yeah.
RC controller.
That controller has a built-in LCD screen.
Yes.
And then you don't have to use your phone. Is it a lot heavier?
Nope.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
Ah. So that would probably be better, right?
Yes, definitely.
So now you've gone up to that price, but then you want the Fly More kit for about
5,000.
About 5,000 ringgit. So that's probably the standard package there, 5,000.
5,000.
Okay. I'll go over there and have a heart attack now. 5,000. Yeah. So I guess this is the ideal set that you would want right here. Yeah. So the Mini 3 Pro, the RC version. And there it is right there. Nice. And the Mini 2. So they're still selling the Mini 2.
Yeah. The Mini 2 is still our hot selling product.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes. Because the price. And for beginner.
Right, right.
This price, most customer can accept that.
Right. I can understand that, yeah. And then once you get into the Mavics, but they're heavier than 250 grams, right?
Yes, it's 900 grams.
900 grams.
Yeah.
So you might need a permit to fly this one. It's more complicated. So that's the Mavic. Okay. All right. And there's the display. Very exciting. I've done a fair amount of research on drones over the last 2 or 3 years. But there's something different about seeing them in real life. It's sort of like everything clicks. It's like, oh, that's the difference between, you know, the Mini 2 and the Mini 3 Pro and the RC model and the Mavic. When you read about it, it's hard to keep it straight in your head. But when you see them all in real life, it's like, ah, okay, that's how it works. And then it becomes clear much more quickly which model would suit you and why you would pick one over the other. Of course, I'm running away very quickly before I have a drone in my knapsack. Photo President seems to be the name of this place. So I'm still here inside Photo President, right?
Yes.
It's the name. Yeah, the name of this shop. And to my delight, they have a complete GoPro section here in the back. So I've been happily rummaging around and talking with the owner about GoPro. He's a GoPro expert. Sounds like knows as much as I do. And here's the full display. So we've got some Hero 10s up here, media mod, full range of batteries, enduro and regular battery chargers, mounting systems, and check this out. What I just bought upstairs. I just bought this at a Thunder Match because I didn't find your store yet. So I bought this 3-way up at the Thunder Match, and then the handler, the floating grip, all kinds of things. And then over here is what I've been looking for. This is what I like to use, the Jaws Flex clamp. and this is the gooseneck. And my jaws are still in good condition, but I want to replace just the gooseneck. And GoPro does sell that separately, but most stores don't carry it. Here he said that they did have some, but they're sold out right now. So in order to get a new gooseneck, I would have to buy the whole set. And he would give me a deal on the price, but I don't really need the whole thing all over again, especially now that I have a three-way. I think I can get by with what I have for now. But yeah, there it is. Nice collection of gear. I'm still hanging out at Photo President. I've been bending the ear of the owner for a while as we're talking about cameras of all kinds. And I discovered that they had that big display of GoPro gear here, but they have another big display of Insta360, which I didn't realize until just as I was looking around the rest of the store and leaving. And this is it here, and look at this. Quite a collection of all the cameras. There's the Insta360 One X2 that I have on the right, the new one, the X3, and then the new one, also new this year, the One RS 1-inch version, and then there's the RS Twin Edition, and then even the Go 2. So pretty much the whole lineup is there, and then the accessories, lens guards. And I was thinking about getting an extra battery, which would give me 3 batteries in total, which I kind of need, to be honest. And they also carry a triple charger. So a combination of a triple charger and another battery would be nice. So I'm thinking about that. But yeah, there you've got it. Another display of all kinds of Insta360 gear. So my trip to Gurney Plaza was a very successful one. I wasn't expecting to find all this good camera gear and, you know, electronics here. So yeah, I'm glad I came out here today. And that's nearly it for my Gurney Plaza adventures. Outside the mall now, of course. There's the main mall building behind me. Now I just have to navigate my way back home by bus. I think I'll take the bus. I thought I might walk, but I'll be kind to myself today. Buses. Oh, the crosswalk is beeping at me, so who knows how long it's going to take to get a green light again. So, but the weird thing about the buses, I was saying, is there's nothing but one-way streets here. In my head, I always think in terms of taking the bus up a street in a certain direction, and then going back would be easy because you just get the bus on the same street going in the other direction. But you can't do that because all these streets are one way. They always do a kind of a weird loop. So it takes me a while to figure out how to get anywhere. Once I get somewhere, I can't just do the reverse to get back, if you know what I mean. So I got into trouble doing that when I went to Kekloksi, that temple. I got there by bus okay, but then when I tried to return by bus, I got all turned around and confused because the buses went in all kinds of weird directions. So it took me a long time, an hour and a half, just to find a bus, but I eventually got it done. Well, as far as I can tell, I can take any bus from here, 101, 102, or 103, and they all go in the same direction I was taking when I came to the mall, but then they go past the mall, then they all turn around, do a loop, and go back on down a different street or something like that. But with Google Maps, it doesn't really matter. You can always find your way. My last errand in the mall was a kind of a pleasant one because I just happened to be passing a money changing shop, and I still had leftover Thai baht that I didn't change when I left. So yeah, I just walked up to the window there, changed my baht into Malaysian ringgit, and I'm all set to go. Very successful shopping run.